Mamie belle, la moustache et la capuchon. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki buleti. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki buleti. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki buleti. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki takatiki. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki buleti. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki buleti. Casito patanilo, mina takatiki buleti. Mamie belle, la moustache et la capuchon.
What's going on? This is your man, John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today's show, I'm going to talk about how everybody needs to chill out on panicking and getting upset with Trent Williams and the fact that he came back and asked for more money. Now, I want to give y'all a breakdown on this is, just to let everybody know, this is not about Trent wanting more money. This is about Trent standing up for his guys, the offensive linemen. Now, I want y'all to understand something. There are two players on this team who's been with us for a very long time and have been very consistent when it comes to their play. And when these two guys speak up, we have to listen. And we don't have to look at it from a money standpoint. We have to look at what they're standing up for. And those two guys are Trent and Ryan Kerrigan. If both of these guys all of a sudden say something, we need to pay attention to what they're really saying. Now, just to break this down, Trent came off and said that he wanted a new contract. He wanted to be extended and stuff like that. Now, then later on, a report came out and said that Trent now he didn't want to no longer be with the team because he felt that the doctors weren't taking care of him. Or taking care of him. So just to explain this a little bit more, I want to get you guys to understand what he's talking about. So just to give y'all an idea, like when you think about Trent has been with this team since 2010 when we first drafted him. And he's played a lot of games for him. I mean, Trent has played 10 or more games for every season he's been here. So you're talking about a guy who's massively consistent for us, who's always doing stuff, and who's always there when we need him. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a guy who's a diehard Redskin player through and through, all of a sudden is complaining and talking about he wants to be traded. And the reason why is because he's saying that he doesn't understand why the training staff and the medical staff is not taking care of him and his guys. When you think about this, just to give y'all an understanding of what's going on here, I'm going to go back a little bit. So 2016, the Redskins had 41 players show up on the injury report. Of those 41 guys, only 5 guys did not miss a game. 5 guys. Now, of those 41 players, 6 of them were offensive linemen. Now, of those 6, only 3 did not miss a game. And that was Trent, Morgan Moses, and Tyron Secchi. Now, in 2017, 55 players showed up on the injury report. Of those 55, 8 players did not miss a game. Of those 55 players, 9 of them were offensive linemen. Of those 9 offensive linemen, only 1 did not miss a game, and that was Morgan Moses. Now we got 2018. 46 players show up on the injury report. 8 of that 46 did not miss a game. Of that 46 players, 11 of them were offensive linemen. Of those 11 offensive linemen, only 1 player did not miss a game. And again, that was Morgan Moses. So understand this. When Trent is sitting here talking about he wants more money or he wants to be traded because he feels that the medical staff isn't taking care of him, it's not just him. He's talking about his guys as well. The offensive lineman he has to play with. Because you're talking about last year, you're talking about of all these players that of all the offensive linemen that miss games, they miss an average of 2 or more games. 2 of the offensive linemen were out the whole season. 2 of the offensive linemen were out the whole season. other players miss a bunch of time during the season. So understand this. Trent is not just sticking up for Trent. Trent is sticking up for, he wants to understand, why is the medical staff, why is the training staff not taking care of him and the other offensive linemen better? Because you're not going to have him believe that in 2016, 6 offensive linemen get injured and only 3 return. Then the very following year, 9 guys get hurt and only 1 was able to not miss a game. Then you're talking about in 2018, 11 guys get hurt and only 1 did not miss a game. So understand this. Everybody needs to take a back seat and chill on Trent, because Trent didn't do anything that any other player probably wouldn't do when he's sticking up for everybody. You got to understand something. Trent is the man for that offensive line. He's the Pro Bowler. He's the consistency. He's the captain. He's all that. So he has to be the one to stand up for that offensive line. And understand that he's not doing it for money. He's doing it because he wants everybody to be taken care of. I mean, when you think about, we have been complaining about this medical staff for a very long time in DC, about this Redskins medical staff, and how come we're the team that always consistently have the most injured players during the whole season. No other team deals with injuries like we do. And every time we turn around, we're always in a situation. Just like, okay, let's take last year, for instance. Alex Smith breaks his leg. During that time, they said Alex Smith had all types of infections as he was healing from the surgery. Then Geis sat up there and came out later and said that he also had infections during the time of when he was coming back from the injury. Now, from my understanding, at that point, the Redskins medical staff is taking over. Then you're talking about Trent sat up there and had a tumor that he was concerned about, that he had the medical staff look at. He got a second opinion and they told him that it was a benign tumor, and he was concerned about that. Then, not only that, Morgan Moses went on the Doc Walker show and sat up there and on that show told people that he had bone spurs in his ankles the whole season. Now understand this guy didn't miss a game. He had bone spurs in his ankle the whole season. He said when he went to the doctors and they took the bone spurs out, they said the bone spurs, he had so many bone spurs that it measured the size of a golf ball. So understand this. Trent doesn't care about the money. He's trying to figure out why is him and his offensive line partners are not being taken care of like they should be. I mean, you're talking about an increase each year of more offensive linemen being on the injury list and missing games, including himself. And he doesn't understand what's really going on. So what I ultimately want to say is everybody needs to back up off of Trent and stop thinking that just because he's out here talking about a new contract, understand why he's talking about a new contract. If this medical staff is in place, then guess what? He's concerned about his long-term career as a football player. He's looking at it from a standpoint where, okay, what if I get injured? This medical staff has shown that they're not able to get me back or get me healthy or diagnose certain things correctly. So guess what? If I go to another team, then guess what may happen? I may sit up there and my career may be over. So guess what? I need more money to make sure I'm able to take care of my health and my ankles or whatever's going on with me once I retire, because of the fact that this medical staff has shown that they're not going to take care of me or my teammates. So understand that everybody just needs to calm down and back up off of Trent. And understand that, again, if Trent is speaking, understand he's not standing up just for himself. He's standing up for everybody. And so far from what I'm looking at, again, like I said, 2016, 6 offensive linemen injured. 2017, 9 offensive linemen injured. 2018, 11 offensive linemen injured. So understand this, y'all. We're seeing this uptick in offensive linemen that are getting injured as they're playing for the Washington Redskins. So again, Back up off of Trent. Back up off of Trent. Give Trent some space. Listen to what he's really complaining about. I mean, I would love to hear him do an interview, but back up off of him because he's not complaining about the money. It's not the money he's really concerned about. It's about his playing career and the long-term health of him and his offensive line mates. And that's what he's focused on. And I want everybody else to understand that that's what they should be focused on as well. This is not about money for Trent. This is about standing up for his teammates. This is your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.